What's up, everyone? Welcome back to a brand new video on the Mr. Investor YouTube channel, where I cover all things blockchain related, specifically to VeChain, Chainlink, Ethereum, Ripple, and a little bit of IOTA. We're going to focus on VeChain here today in the Medium article that was posted not too long ago. But before we get into anything, let's look at the VeChain stats website just to see where VeChain's at for the day. Today, we're at about 31,000 for a VTHO burn, 85,500 clauses. Not too bad of a day. I'd like to see that push up to the six-figure mark across 100,000, but nonetheless, we're pretty steady around the 80,000 to 100,000 mark with the data clauses 73,000. So not too bad of a day, but we've definitely seen higher before. Heading down to the X node section, um, we can see that the ask prices for the Strength X node have dropped a little bit. I believe yesterday they're around 18,000, and there's only 24 in auction right now. So people are still looking to get out of their X nodes. Um, so if you have the opportunity to scoop up an X node, as I've been saying in my past two videos, I would highly suggest scooping one if you believe in the long-term vision of the project. Yes, we don't have full clarity or full information on what's going to happen with X nodes in the future, but nonetheless, if you believe in the future of the project and you like the things that are happening, you like the partnerships and the announcements that have been coming, then I suggest scooping an X node. Again, not financial advice. And then let's just go scroll down here to see the X node events. I'm always curious to see how many people are getting out of their X nodes or see what's going on, if they're upgrading or not upgrading. And it looks like just a lot of destroyed. Same as before. See where we're at. Total now 3,190 X node tokens left. I believe we're burning about anywhere from like 6 to 20 a day now. So it's very possible within the next, I don't know, month, 3 months, we'll dip under that 3,000 X node level, which is interesting to see. I just want to go over that Medium article that VeChain posted the other day, which is interesting and unique because it doesn't pertain to VeChain specifically. However, it does talk about China and their stance on cryptocurrencies and digital assets. Now, every other Medium article that VeChain has posted or written about has been about some type of partnership or some type of advancement or some type of announcement from the VeChain Foundation itself. But this with the title China makes a significant shift in its tone of cryptocurrency makes it sound like they're foreshadowing an announcement here, and we'll dive into that in a second. I just want to cover a couple things here. Um, the Bao Forum for Asia 2021 annual meeting was held in Bao, Hainan. It is one of the most influential forum summits in the world today, and it was joined by a number of heavyweight guests. For example, Zhao, not going to say that guy's last name, was the vice chairman of the Bao Forum for Asia, 12th vice chairman of the National Committee of the Chinese People's Political Consultative Conference, and former governor of the People's Bank of China. And he said that regardless of digital currency or digital assets, they all have to serve the real world. We experienced the global financial crisis in 2008 and found that finance is detached from the real, such as the shadow banking and derivatives, which have become purely speculative transactions between financial institutions, and there is no longer a connection with the real. Under this situation, it is easy to go wrong. In China, financial innovations have to be clear about its benefits to the real economy. So to me, this sounds like they're looking at two financial institutions, derivatives, open finance. Maybe this is some kind of foreshadowing of an announcement or connection between VeChain and the Chinese central banks, the Chinese digital, or not digital, financial institutions, which is covered in the white paper, but we will get there in a second. China considers crypto assets as investment alternatives. The nation is planning to improve the regulatory environment for these alternative investments. And PBOC Vice Governor Li Bo said, before the launch of any regulatory measures, we will maintain what we are doing right now. So, to me, that seems like they're going to keep doing what they're doing and look into things just like how they are. The paper China state affiliated media commented Bitcoin has largely gained the same consensus and recognition as mainstream currencies and assets. Since the last 2 years, not only middle class people are starting to buy Bitcoin as an asset allocation, but even many professional financial advisors are adding Bitcoin to their clients' asset allocation plans. From its initial birth on the premise of faith and consensus to its small scale circulation to its current fluctuating changes influenced by the complex global environment, Bitcoin, as well as cryptocurrency, has basically gained consensus and recognition worldwide for its value and role as a mainstream currency and asset. And we've seen this to be true. I mean, we have companies that are buying asset in the billions now as to add to their balance sheet. And if that's not a statement to you, then I don't know what is. But let's go over to the VeChain white paper. And I want to cover a few things that I think are pretty interesting. Um, Specifically in the use case, and in the white paper, it specifically says um, the future painted by DeFi is extremely promising even to a layman's eye. A future where money becomes programmable, capital and financial products flow freely, and parties interact without a middleman with no counterparty risks. The global financial industry is worth around $15 trillion, more than 17% of the $88 trillion global GDP, and most of the financial industry's value is derived from its elimination of cost of trust between parties. This cost of trust is also a cost which blockchain has a direct answer to. So again, we're tying in finance, blockchain, and DeFi all into one little thing here. One may then question how come DeFi has not yet fulfilled what it promises to achieve, and most of the use cases of DeFi now is still in the area of trading speculation. And the answer is there are preconditions for the boom of DeFi that has not yet been met. And a lot of these resources to set these preconditions are controlled by existing interest parties, so the transformation of the financial industry will likely take some time. And I do believe that is to be true. And we're only about what, a year and a half, 2 years into DeFi, and we've seen the explosive growth of it. But I do think that in order for it to achieve its full potential, it's going to take much longer. Probably realistically another 3 to 5, maybe even 10 years for it to reach its true potential. But I do see in the short term, like in the 2 to 3 year mark, that we're going to start seeing financial institutions, possibly banks and investment funds, start getting into the DeFi area. I'm not entirely sure what that would look like, but I mean, I think it'd be foolish to say that that's not going to happen within that time frame. But nonetheless, let's keep reading on. While we do believe in the potential of cryptocurrencies, and it may eventually fulfill the decentralization dream that a lot of crypto believers believe in, however, it is simply too small of a market when compared to the global finance market. We believe the full potential of the blockchain technology will only be realized if mainstream finance can adopt the technology. Therefore, we have a stronger belief in open finance as opposed to DeFi. And this is where the meat of the potatoes come in. VeChain aims to enable financial institutions and central banks through blockchain technology, transforming their current business practices to a more transparent, efficient, automated, and data driven form. And there are three directions that they will take to facilitate the creation of such an ecosystem. The first is to establish a settlement layer consisting of different stablecoins. The second, onboard enterprises and construct a data layer. And three, bring in financial institutions to create financial products using trusted enterprise data. So the settlement layer, it is a blockchain-based layer that will enable financial products to be settled on-chain, which will allow the utilization of smart contracts, automated execution with transparent terms, thus significantly reducing costs and increasing transparency. So that phrase, increasing transparency, was also said in the Medium article that I just read. So transparency. For the past year and a half, VeChain has advised governments around the world on the regulatory framework around cryptocurrency. And they've also been working with one of the most innovative governments in the world to design and launch a euro-backed stablecoin, which is issued by the central bank of that country. This stablecoin carries a lot of significance for both the blockchain industry and that country. Not only may it be the first state-backed euro stablecoin in the world, such legitimate trusted settlement layer will serve as a soil to grow financial products with mass adoption potentials. So, if one country or one government entity jumps on board and it does prove to be very well and it proves to be successful, it's going to set the standard for where other governments and other countries are going to have to find a way to keep up. And I think that's only going to be bullish as we move forward. Talking about the data layer, they're utilizing the data layer. Financial instruments can be tailor made for each client based on the evaluation of their data, adjusting the terms of the financial product accordingly. VeChain currently offers more than 100 enterprise solutions covering over 16 industries and 36 subsectors using a combination of blockchain, Internet of Things, and AI technologies. These solutions are not just theoretical, they are solutions tested and discussed with over 700 enterprises and implemented for over 100 plus Fortune level companies. I'm going to read that again. These solutions are not just theoretical. They are solutions tested and discussed with over 700 enterprises and implemented for over 100 plus Fortune level companies. That right there is adoption. 100 plus Fortune level companies. That is huge. And if things go the way we've seen it go, it starts to come like clockwork. One joins, another joins, and next thing you know, if you're not joining, you're falling behind. So they're already establishing themselves as a reputable and trusted system for these enterprises and Fortune level companies. So I think that this Medium article and what's being stated in this white paper, they're foreshadowing saying that Open Finance is going to come to VeChain. It's going to happen with China specifically. And once that announcement drops, that is going to be groundbreaking. Financial institutions. As both the settlement layer and data layer are ready, the next step is to bring in financial institutions to build financial products. Again, here we go. These may include loans, insurance products, supply chain finance, services, and financial derivatives. The first wave of financial institutions have already utilized our technology in their products, and we are working with our business partners, including financial service providers, on many fronts. I truly think that this Medium article here is foreshadowing the announcement of China getting on board with Open Finance, and they're going to be utilizing VeChain. And Open Finance on the VeChain platform, and if they allow something like that for their users to get involved with as well, which I can't see why they wouldn't allow that to happen, but now their users, it's going to attract other people and other companies to use VeChain as well. VeChain is laying the framework to become massive. They're going to have their hands in almost every industry, and if they can get finance as another pivotal or another major solution on their blockchain, then again, I just think that VeChain is so early in the making that this is the beginning of a giant. Um, so that's all I have today. It's just covering this little Medium article, my thoughts on what's going on, why they posted this with the AMA coming up. I think believe it's in a week, and then this white paper. So if you like this video, subscribe, hit the thumbs up, put notifications on. I'm gonna try and post every day or so. And please leave a comment what you liked, what you didn't like, what you disliked, what I could improve on. If you want me to look into something, just leave me some type of feedback. All right, guys. Till next time.